This is the Alison Spittle Show.
There she is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, it's the day before Halloween, and I've seen people in the Workman's. You're grand. Don't you worry at all. Don't you worry at all. You follow. No, lovely. That's. It's the day before Halloween, and I saw a few people dressed in the Workman's. They're all dressed up. I see a few Mexican skull ladies and stuff, and cats in various states of undress. So I thought I would go as the normal Halloween costume that I go as, which is child neglect in the 90s. Which was, I always dressed up like this for Halloween. My mother just put her lipstick on me and there's blood. So yeah, and it's a bin bag. But I'm going to take it off now because I'm not going to wear it for the whole show. So I'll do that. But I'm going to, oi, nice. I don't know what you're turned on by, sir, but I like it. Cool. Y'all excited about Halloween? Who's excited about Halloween?
Yeah.
This is my 5th Halloween in Dublin, and lads, the lads who get pallets in Dublin, they're very rude, aren't they? And they are. I grew up in a council estate, and we snuck around, and we never racially abused anyone. But in Dublin, it's crazy. But there was no one in Westmeath to racially abuse, to be honest with you. Not that would stop us, right? But because I've had spooky experiences in my life. I heard a banshee when I was in Moat. I was walking home from a Brian Ormond concert, right? Those were heady times. It was a double headline gig with the other lad out of yours there, Mick. We never got through to the song bit. Do you know where everyone had a song? And Simon Casey had a better plan. Do you remember him? He sang at my aunt's wedding. He's some lad. And then we have, So anyway, we were walking home and we had a grand time. And we heard this ooh. And I was like, it's here, Donna, we're going to die, it's the banshee. And we ran faster because we thought, give her a fight, and don't let her take us alive, put a bit of fight to it. So we kept running, and that sound just got louder and louder, and then we realised it was the sound of the wind blowing for our hoop earrings, so we never wore hoop earrings again, or went to a Brian Ormond concert. That's just not out of choice. He didn't do a concert again. And another time I did a Ouija board. How many of you have done the Ouija board before? Yeah? Lads, what happened to be in the Ouija board? Did it work? No. But you see, it worked. Emma knows. I did the Ouija board with my friends, right? And I don't know, in my friend group, right, we were made up of goths and geeks. And the gothiest one was mad into the Ouija board. She wanted to do it the whole time. And we just thought we'd satisfy her, right, by doing it at Halloween. So we did it at Halloween, and she knew all the. It's like someone doing BDSM. Whoever's the most into it, they normally have all the equipment. They're normally very forthcoming. Now she wanted she put a ring of salt around us so no bad spirits would come. Did you do that? Well, that's where you went wrong. We would ring a salt around us and a little crystal shot glass, and we gave him a full range of characters. So he had the alphabet. He also had numbers if you wanted to. Hello and goodbye and yes or no. We felt we had it all covered. There was no emojis in that time during the Ouija board business. But we did it anyway, and so the Ouija board, we said, hello, is there anyone there? And it went straight to X. And I said, fuck this, I'm not playing this game no more. Because I was scared, because I was like, X, that's evil. So I was in the house on my own with them, and I didn't want to be in watching Ninja Warrior and eating Pringles while they were summoning spirits in the other room. So I thought I'd stay there, and I wouldn't be involved, so the ghost couldn't attack me. So I would just take notes. So I cut out my maths book and took notes like we're at an AGM of a residents association meeting. First on the agenda, speak to the dead. So what I did was, so we had the conversation with him, and I went, hello, is there anyone there? Yes. Are you a man? Because we asked yes or no questions to get it done quicker. He goes, yes. I go, what is your name? He goes, A-D-A-I-G-H, all this shit. And we're like, Adam. And he went straight to yes. And we're like, ooh, we're getting the hang of this. And then it was like, but then we asked him what year it was, like 1936. We asked him then, we were getting a bit more, we're like, were you in a war? And he was like, yes. And then we got a bit scared because he went straight to yes very quickly. So then we're asking him more docile things like, do you like tea? And he was like, yes. And we were running out of things to say. We're like, do you like biscuits? He was like, yes. Do you like GAA? And he was like, yes. So all these non-threatening things. You know, do you like the English? No. So it was really weird, and we just spent the whole time complimenting him. We go, thank you, Adam. Thank you so much for talking to us. Oh, you're very clever, Adam. And he was great. He was loving it, so he was. And we eventually, we asked the question, then we go, are you lonely? And I went to yes. And we all looked at each other, we're all teenagers. We got very sad. We're like, we're going to go now, Adam. Goodbye. I left them there in horse sleep. Which is anyway. And so what happened then? So that's not the scariest experience though. The scariest experience was that I don't know why I looked at the lights. I'll tell you why I looked at the lights. I did a stand-up gig and I did that story and it didn't happen. That's cool. I swear. Well, I was doing it in Blackrock and I was talking about Adam and the light was going like this a bit and I was like, that's the wind or something like that. And then I said, are you lonely? And the light came down and swung towards me. And the whole audience just screamed, and I screamed. And I refused to do any more jokes, but we're grand now. I forgot what I was telling you, why I was so scared of the next bit. And I was like, he doesn't live here, that's good. No, but like we watched Darren Brown, we realised that it's not real, that it's the hive mind mentality that kind of makes you want, if you want to talk to someone, you're gonna, you know, as a group, you're gonna do it. It's like me when I only like believe in ghosts at a seance, right? And it's the same way it's the same way as my belief in God. I only believe in God when I have a scratch card. It's that kind of, I'm like, oh God, come on, oh fuck you, God. 2 stars. Hello, welcome to Alison Spittle Show. I'm Alison Spittle, and here are some jokes. Michael Fassbender couldn't be here this evening because let's face it, why would he? Why would he be here? We couldn't get Michael Fassbender, but we could get Michael Basslender, who will lend you the price of a pint of Bass if you're stuck. Well, you better pay him back because it's Michael Basslender, not Michael Bass Charity. Alright? Very threatening. This year, RTE spent millions on Charlie, and also a TV show called Charlie. We couldn't get Michael Fassbender. We couldn't get Michael Fassbender, but we could get Michael Grassmender. If your grass needs mending, he's the man to do it. Congratulations to on winning VIP Magazine's award for Ireland's most ginormous virgin. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin, alright? But there's plenty wrong with being Now, Fianna Fáil celebrate Back to the Future Day this week by adopting the same stance on abortion that the party had back in the 80s. Cool. We couldn't get Michael Fassbender, but we could get Michael Harass Offender. He harasses and offends people, but you may know him better by his stage name. Cool. I want to say Dennis O'Brien has also deleted his last FM account due to haters. Sorry. Yay! Now it's the desk piece time. So what I'm going to do is a desk piece on Facebook memories that Facebook has decided I need to remember and be nostalgic about. So here's the first one. Fucking hell, Stephen Gately is dead. That was on the 11th of October 2009 at 2:51 in the morning. So morning and like a normal person, I called everyone in my phone book and told them Michael Jackson had died. And they were like, why are you doing this? I'm like, so you'll remember me. When you know, so we'll go for another one now. Aidan is the biggest shithole ever. That was in 2009. And there's 2 comments underneath that, we'll find it. I was also a friend of Michelle Mullins, who was a girl I haven't talked to ever since. Not out of hatred, she was 2 years below me in school. No better. No, so this is the comments underneath. No, the 3 Crowns or some shit is the biggest shithole ever. That's what it was renamed after, right? What's it called now? I don't know. And then I said, they were, and that's the capital bits I did there. They were all shit except the Turk's head. But they kept telling me to put on my shoes. So, that's how I judged. That's how I judged pubs. Oh, this is the one I like. Jerry Adams had sweet hair during the Troubles. He did. He did have sweet hair. He did have sweet hair. We'll move on. Oh, this one. Cool. Will someone message me Niamh Maron's number? That's not for you. That's just a general one. I felt sick voting today, trying to pick which one to give my number 1 to. Michael D or Norris. Their lovely smiling faces staring at me. I won't lie, I felt like Angelina Jolie in an orphanage. that was my early attempts at jokes there. Political humour. And then poor John Stake, don't die. This will be as bad as Fred dying. John Stake was in Coronation Street. He was Fizz's boyfriend. They had a child together. He also killed a few people, but he always did it by accident. He did. You know what I'm talking about. Except that one time where he put a hammer in a lady's head, but that's because she was really annoying. So she was trying to wreck his life. Basically, we have found out this week the World Health Organization has told us that that meat products that are, what's it called, mass produced? What's the thing? Cancer meat. Processed meat. Cancer meat causes cancer. The processed meat causes cancer, and I'm very sad over this. I did actually try to quit processed meat there this week. I fell off the wagon once I saw a sausage roll. Anyway, which is the shittiest of all the processed meats. Like, I didn't touch Parma ham, but I was like, oh, sausage roll. I recently quit ham and cold turkey. I love it, I don't care. I went to Electric Picnic and everyone around me was doing ham, you know, but I still managed to have a good time though. I got a new invention because you know the way smoking, you can have a vaporizer, and it's not really an invention, I bought it, but I thought it'd be funny if you could have like a processed meat vaporizer. It's basically a pepperoni. I thought it was funny. But if that doesn't work now, I also have a patch. Look. That will help you. I smelled rotten. Do you know what? I'll do talking. So I'm with the dog there, it's director's commentary, and he's sniffing about. And I'm asking the dog questions, and the dog is talking back to me in a Dublin accent, and I'm going to him. I'm gonna go to him.
Alison, I'm here, the dog.
Hey!
Yeah, we don't need to sing. How are you, Alison? How are you doing?
So tell me about Dennis O'Brien.
Oh, Dennis O'Brien. We had lots of bleeps in the sketch.
We
for all
did.
the,
We had a lot of bleeps.
Basically, in the sketch, it was revealed that he's a but that was bleeped out. And, bleep.
I'll do the bleep and you talk.
Oh yeah, he's a
bleep.
And that's it. That's all I know about him, really.
What about?
Yeah, he's having affairs.
Wait,
also.
bleep.
He keeps meeting women that he that slags off his son's Bebo.
Oh Jesus!
They befriended his son over Bebo, knowing this is the way to Pat. So that's how they're getting to know him.
Oh mad.
Yeah.
What about fluoride in the water? Tell me about that.
It's really good for you, but it's going to make us all sterile.
Bleep.
The good news is that there'll be there'll be less noisy kids on planes. Bad news is it'll be the end of the human race. So you win some, you lose some.
Absolutely done. And what was the last question I asked you? Oh, why didn't the general election happen this month?
It didn't happen because Enda didn't want to have them before Christmas. Casey lost because he was afraid no one would want to spend Christmas with them.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's very sad.
No one wants to be alone. Except he deserves to be alone. I wouldn't say that about anyone because dogs are supposed to be very empathetic and full of love, but fuck that lad. This was all bleep last year. So yeah, that's allegedly, yeah.
So that's that. That's well, you can go for a drink. You can go for a drink, and we're going to have the actual interview part with Tara, Flynn, and Aidan Power. And thank you so much for coming so far. Best of luck.
Welcome back, your host, Alison Spittle.
First guest is a lady who I know for about 3 years now. And she's been properly sound. Like when I started doing comedy, she was always kind of really encouraging and stuff. And she was on the telly, and I was like, holy shit! No one on the telly has ever spoken to me before. So I was like, what? Not that they were ignoring me. That sounds like everyone off TV are pricks. They're not. They're really sound. Anyway, sorry. Our first guest is really sound, really talented. She's a comedian, actress, and author, and all-around national treasure. Tara Flynn. We all. So is that the good mic, Giles? Which mic's the good one?
This is good.
Cool. So we're gonna let you have the good mic.
Good. Have you got a mic on?
I've got a mic from my breasts.
Breast mic. Lovely.
Breast my what? I thought you were gonna say breast my case.
Breast my case. Yeah, no,
I breast my
that's. So
case.
if we ever have our cop show, that's what we'll say at the end. We'll say, "I breast my case."
Yeah. We can be like breast and then turn on our backs.
Yeah.
And,
I'm looking forward to it.
I know. We'll just investigate horrific crimes while we're wisecracking the whole time. How did the Catholic Church do this? Anyway.
I breast my. Yeah, no, that's what's at the end. No.
Yeah. So Tara, tell me now. Look, this is really weird because I researched you now on Google.
Oh Jesus.
So not only, by the way, Tara, do you remember that dog in that clip there? Yeah. That was Tara's dog.
I don't really take credit. I just didn't birth him or anything.
Oh, did you?
Just a dog. But yeah, no, thanks for being so nice to him. It was good to see the footage of you not kicking him or anything. That was nice.
No, we did that before the camera.
Oh, okay.
We might nip it in the bud. How to get into comedy?
Oh God.
Can I ask you
Yeah,
like the
ask me
question?
anything you like.
Okay. What is it like being a woman in comedy?
Hang on, okay. Let's do the when we do the 1, 2, 3. Let's do the noise that makes us think of. Yeah. We will be leaving that one because let's be the first to not even do that one.
I know, I did it as a joke. I wouldn't ask guys.
Of course you wouldn't.
I know what it's like to be a woman in comedy. Fucking horrible. I'm kidding. It's good. So tell me about your book. You've got a new book out now.
Yeah.
Your book's called Giving Out Yards.
It is. Did you want me to go back to getting into comedy, or will we go straight on to fuck that? Fuck that.
Do you want to
You're right.
Okay, how'd you get into comedy?
Well, it's a really long, boring story, so let's go to the book.
Yeah, let's go to the book.
So the book is called Giving Out Yards, and it's about, basically it's about living in Ireland. No. I'm going to just sit back.
I'm doing it. Do you want some Billy Bear ham?
No,
I'm good. It was on my arm as well.
I might prefer it after it's been on your arm. At least have a bit more going for it.
Oh, what? It's a Jew. So anyway, so tell me about your book. It's called Giving Out Yards.
It is. Yeah, listen, I mean, I prefer to get to nitty gritty with you. Ask me. That's a really kind question. It was like,
I know.
book schmuck.
I know.
That's-
Tara does have a book out now.
Thanks very much. That's it. It's basically about living in Ireland. It's called Giving Out Yards. It's about living in Ireland and living under the yoke of the shushening, I call it. but yeah, I found that the word oppression just wasn't funny. So, so it's the shushing, and it's about the way we're emerging from the shushing, but alphabetically. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Nice. So I'm going to talk about Halloween now.
Oh, okay. No messing, Jesus. Love
No, because what did you dress up as when you were a kid for Halloween?
it. When I was a kid, we didn't really dress up. We wouldn't dress up as things or themes. It was all, sheets and ghost sheets and witches, and that was kind of the size of it. And masks you'd make out of cereal packets.
Oh.
If you were really fancied by those plastic masks that suffocate children, the ones that you had to be careful to insert nostril holes for, because otherwise you'd be in there, you'd be going, I'm having such a good time, and all you could feel was, like as if you're being buried alive. So it was a real authentic Halloween experience.
When you say like masks off cereal packets, was it like Tony the Tiger or the Kellogg Man?
No. You wouldn't choose the coloured bit. You'd use the plain bit and then you'd colour it in.
Ah, I get it now.
Yeah.
I do. I was confused.
You did a lot more make and do in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, we did too in art in the 90s, but it was really lazy. It was kind of like it was a lot of like your mother's lipstick and stuff. And I tell you, once I had my own bodily autonomy, like when I was 18, and I could make my own.
You were living in England, so.
Oh yeah, well, I got the boat over and I got a great costume. But when I was in college, that was the time where you really kind of, grew your wings out and had like special kind of costumes. I dressed up once as Mary Bale, who, if you don't know who she is, she was one of the first YouTube stars. She was the lady that put the cat in the bin. Do you remember her?
Oh, that lady has a name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her name is Mary Bale. She lives in Wolverhampton. I googled her again. But I dressed up as her, but as a young woman. So what I did was
Did she like cats? Or was there a backstory? Did she develop a dislike of cats?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Well, I had a cat t-shirt on, and I put my hair in pigtails, and I had glasses, and I was like, I'm Mary Bale as a young woman. And I shifted a lad who was dressed as the Hulk.
I think we've all dreamed of that.
I felt like such an achievement. I went home. So sorry. I don't want to talk about who I've shifted all the time.
No, go on. I'm loving it.
There you are.
I am.
My friend. Right?
Talking about shifting is actually what drives us all as humans.
I know, I love shifting. The one thing I miss about when you're in because I'm in a steady relationship, but you know that whole like committed. But do you know the whole thing where you're drunk and you're in Supermax and you're eating your garlic chips and you're like
you see an opening.
You do. You see a lad and you're like, I could stick my mouth on that. And then you go home like you've won something. You're like, I've made his breath smell bad. So like, I was gonna ask you, not specifically like. You've come out recently, and this is not. I'm not gonna go. What was it like having an abortion? But was it crack?
Well, as we all know, they're great crack, which
great.
is why everyone's so afraid that they're going to be
Great.
legal here because everyone will just be having them every weekend
Yeah.
for the laugh. I'm a bit too pregnant today. Was okay with it for the first 6 months. No, that's simply not how it's going to work. But
No.
that's what certain anti-extremists are saying, and it's unfortunately they're not preventing anything. They're just making it more difficult and more risky. So I'm against difficulty and risk, and therefore I'm pro-choice.
Well, hey, but like, I know people that have had abortions.
We all
like,
do. That's the
I
thing.
know, and it's so. Was there any point? Not that you ever regret saying that you had an abortion, but was there who was the biggest prick, or what happened? You know.
The pricks are almost all anonymous and usual
I'll tell you,
suspects,
Tara.
and the whole point of talking about it was we all know people, and what defines them isn't that they made that particular choice when faced with a crisis pregnancy. What defines them is the stuff that they do, or that they write, or that they say, or who they are in their lives, whether they're sound or whether they're not. And it's just one thing about them. But unfortunately, for a little bit, until more people talk about it or whatever, I will be the abortion guy. Yay! I must get a theme tune, lads. I must get the abortion guy theme tune. Da, 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 it's the abortion guy. She talks about it in a non-threatening way. Well, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about it was because I think it's often hijacked by people who are extremely anti, or it's spoken about in a very tragic way, because there are very tragic cases, obviously, that need addressing with abortion, and the point is that there are many people for whom it's just become a part of their lives, and it is. People don't like this, but it's an everyday occurrence, and it's time to speak about it in an everyday way.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I wanted to see if I could contribute. It's people we know. I'm sure there are more of us in this room. There are definitely people downstairs. I didn't talk to them about it. It's statistics. But it is. It is common. It is every day, and we have to treat it as such, and just be sane and compassionate about it, and just go. We're not going to send women away anymore.
Like it's not common that when you came out of it and Russian England came out of it, I was looking, I was like, how much did they get theirs for? And I was like comparing prices to people I know. And I was like, oh, they went to Liverpool, or that kind of thing. Anyway, sorry, that was just an observational joke about the price of abortion. It's like Lidl or Aldi. It's like it's like the flights are cheaper to London, but it's more expensive there. Anyway,
that's a good point, and that's the stuff we have to talk about. Those are the sums that people do when they have to travel. Yeah, okay. Like I went to Holland because the procedure was cheaper there, and I didn't have money.
Get a bit of hash. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
No, but that's what everybody thinks.
Inappropriate.
No, it's not inappropriate, because the thing is, right. Well, coming back, I wasn't in any position to think about buying anything, but those are the. You have to. It's part of a whole experience. It's not just one thing that happens. I was coming out from the procedure, and I went. We should tell you about going in. It's going in. The lad said to me, the surgeon said. He said, oh, you're coming in. You're very calm. Usually when people come in, they're very stressed. And you're coming in. You're not stressed at all. It's great. It's interesting to see. And then he put the heart rate monitor on, and obviously I was incredibly stressed and incredibly upset. But I just said, yeah, look, what I do, I spend all my time masking, when I'm upset or nervous. And he went, okay, that's so interesting. So had the procedure, and then so it was, sort of between 7 and 10 minutes later, I was out. But between 7 and 10 minutes later, I was coming to, and all I remember was in my semi-anaesthetized state going, it's true, you do have better drugs in Holland. And that's part of the story. That is part of the story. There's no point saying, and so I went in, and it was not. There are things that were funny that happened. Oh, and when I was going in for the procedure, on the radio that they were playing, and everyone was super lovely to me. The care was incredible. There was no judgment. There was just compassion and care. And it was. I get a bit upset when I talk about that, because I couldn't get that here. I just got judgment, and when I came home, I was automatically a criminal. But there I got. And there are possibly people in this room who disagree with my choice, but it was the only choice I could take at the time, and they say choice, it doesn't feel like one, but as I was walking in for the procedure, on the radio was life, oh life, oh life. And I have to say, one of the best things about having talked about it is I can now do material about that, because that's been beating away in my brain for years, just going, that's fucking hilarious. So anyway, so that's enough about my abortion. Oh, stop.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And listen, how good is she? Alison Spittle. Amazing.
Before we bring on our next guest, we're going to have a word from our sponsors. Hammers. So, go for it.
Are you stuck trying to shove a nail into a piece of wood with your finger? Surely there must be a better way. Introducing hammers. Yeah. Do you have some nails? Want to hammer them into something? Well, use a hammer. It's literally what hammers are for. I know a secret about hammers. Did you know that hammers don't just hammer? No, they also now unhammer. If you regret any hammering you've done,
In the industry, we call them hammer regrets.
well, you can just pop those nails right out with the unhammering side of your hammer. That's right. Hammers are yin and yang. Two functions in perfect harmony. Don't just take my word for it, even though I'm a handsome voice. Listen to this jerk.
I didn't think hammers for guys like me, but then I realized I'd resigned myself to a life of loneliness and poorly constructed DIY projects. But now I see just how stupid I've been. Stupid clown.
Calm down. No, don't. I know you think this will hurt her, but it won't. It's only going to hurt you.
Oh my god.
So, there you have it. Buy a hammer today, because when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like amazing.
I'm sorry, Jennifer.
Okay, that's enough. All right, okay, hammers.
So, are we ready for our next guest, everybody? This lad is a broadcaster and one of the soundest lads I ever met at a charity event. Everybody welcome Mr. Aidan Power.
Thank you very much. You don't meet too many people at sound people at charity events.
No, not at all.
They're usually
Not at all. So
not nice.
tell me about your abortion.
Well, I guess that kind of relates. My career is quite abortive at the moment. No, I don't have an abortion. Sorry.
Oh, joke. Cool.
Will I make one up?
No.
No, because that wouldn't be nice.
So, right to her hands. So come here, tell me, I met you at the charity event there. I wanted to ask you, how did you get into broadcasting? Because like with comedy, you have an idea of how someone got into comedy. They kind of go, I could give comedy a go, and they sign up to an open mic night. But with like TV presenting, there's no like open mic TV presenting.
That's for sure. Yeah, and the one thing is when you start working at TV, everyone goes, "Oh, does your dad work in RT?" Everyone thinks you got in there because it's
Does your dad work in RT?
No, my dad was in the Navy, so I have no connection with broadcasting at all.
Did he bring a warship up and go, put my boy on?
No, he just used to dress up with like some weirdo out of the YMCA, and we'd have strange parties in the house. And I was only 9. I don't know how I got into broadcasting. It was it was a fluke. I never wanted to work in it because most people go, "Oh, you like a wannabe, you want to be on TV." I never did. I guess it goes back as far as like we had a pirate radio station when we were I say we, my brother and a pal of his set up a pirate radio station when we were 15. But even long before that, I don't know if any of you guys ever did this. We used to do like well, actually, the first thing we used to do was crank calls. Did you ever do crank calls?
Oh yes.
Did you do crank calls?
Yeah.
Okay. So we used to do there's a station in Dublin called 19 FM. We used to do the cash call, which was if you knew the number, you'd win $1,000 or something like that. So we used to ring up people about 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, like 9 years of age. Hello, you're the correct answer. You've won €1,000. Blah 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 blah. And people go, whoa. And so we started doing that, and then I think when I was 12, we broadcast the 1992 Olympics from Barcelona from my parents' sitting room. What? And it was me, my brother, and my cousin. And weirdly and invariably, Michael Jackson featured in the whole thing. One of us always had to be Michael Jackson.
How old were you?
Or someone had to be Freddie Mercury.
Oh, sorry.
We were 12. Exactly. We were the perfect age. And then, so we set up a radio station when we were 15, and it was a pirate radio station, and it started out in my brother's bedroom, and it was like a nothing thing, broadcasting to the neighbours either side of us. But then it grew into a really big deal, and from that, we started like DJing at discos, because that's what you do when you're 15. Nice. And I had my ear pierced, and I had a fringe.
Oh, you must have got so many shifts.
And my name was DJ Power.
Oh.
They were queuing up.
Oh, nice.
And through that, very randomly, someone asked me to do something for RT, which I had no interest in doing, but I got asked to do something, and I did it. And we did this little advert for the disco, me with my Dublin accent, which I've sold since.
Yeah.
Going, alright, how's it going? Come to the disco next Friday. Blah 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 blah. And the tagline was strictly for the headstrong. And I have no idea what that means, but I think back then, unwittingly, we were advertising for drugs. We never got any, but I think we were actually I think that meant bring pills.
Right.
Right. Thankfully, we were way too young for any of that crack. And so it was a fluke. It was a fluke I got into TV, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
What really is the highlight of your career?
Being here right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes,
it is. I feel I finally made it. Oh man, I don't know. Like I think as boring as it is, not the highlight, but like staying consistent in it. That's actually boring. I'll come up with something better than that.
Yeah.
But the highlight is having a fight with Roy Keane. I got in a fight with Roy Keane. My absolute idol and hero started on me. He actually proper threatened to kick the head off me.
That's not like him at all.
No.
Very out of character. What happened?
I was just passing him on the street and he went, "Oh, you're that dickhead off the telly." No, I interviewed him once many years ago. He comes over to Ireland because he lives in England and he does this thing for he's very charitable. He's a thing for the Irish guide dogs.
He loves the guide dogs.
He loves the guide dogs for the blind, and we did this great interview. And I think at the time, like Roy Keane's always box office, but at the time he was with Sunderland, so he was still big news. And so the whole Irish press turn up to this interview, TV, radio, print. It's about 80, 90 journalists, loads of cameras. And bizarrely they go, I'm doing this show for RT, it's like a young people's thing, so we're very insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they go, you're going to interview him first. And we're at the back of the Radisson Hotel in Stillorgan in Dublin, out on a park bench on a lovely sunny day. And Roy comes out and they're like, you're first. So I have this big audience like this here, like double this audience of people looking at me going, who's this kid?
Yeah.
Fucking interviewing Roy. And Roy comes out and he's looking at me going, who the hell are you? And I'm terrified because he's my hero. And he's quite an intimidating man. Like physically, he's like skinny and lean and you kind of go, I batter you. But then when he looks at you, you gotta go, oh my god, okay, now I would not come home with full fat milk if it was meant to be semi-skimmed. Because he'd kill you.
I said he would.
So we do this interview and like all these things, you get 5 minutes and there's a PR person there trying to wrap you up. And the interview was going great and Roy relaxed and he's, like when you get to talk to Roy Keane, when he's relaxed with you, he's very funny, very loquacious, very intelligent, very sound, which is not what you'd expect. So I was like, this is just brilliant. And it comes to the end of the interview, and like the PR girls are literally trying to pull him away because I've ran way over time. And I asked him to say a thing into the camera, which was like, the show I was doing at the time was called TTV, and I said, Roy, just look into the camera and say, hi, I'm Roy Keane, please support the Guide Dogs campaign on TTV. And he looked at me and went, TTV? What the fuck is that? And I went, that's the name of the show. And he went, alright, okay. So he looks into the camera, makes an absolute balls of it. It's only a 10-second thing, but he's just tripping over himself, and at the end of it he goes, TTTV. And he said about 2 T's too many. So I'm like, oh, that's so hilarious. And we're side by side in the park bench, and Roy's like, this isn't funny. So he jumps up, and I won't do it now to ruin the shots, but he jumps out of the bench, gets in my face, and starts roaring at me going, is this a wind-up? Is this a wind-up? And I'm like sleeking down into the bench like this going, Jesus Christ! And the PR girl's going, oh my god. And the crew are like, what do we do? I was like, keep rolling. This is great telling. And like he literally just started on me, and I felt the absolute madness and red mist of Roy Keane. And then 10 seconds later, he was taken away, and I'm sitting there going, Jesus Christ! And he turns around and he goes, hey kid, write it down, I'll come back and do it again for you. And I was like, no, you're fine. So like that, he'd gone from being sound to mental to sound.
He's like a damaged uncle at a wedding, isn't he?
Yes.
How did you, like, because you worked in 98 then as the breakfast DJ, and now you work with 2FM.
I worked in 98FM, I did their breakfast show for 2 years, and then I got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah.
Ah, shite.
Well, people just go, your contract ended, but you get fired. Like that, listen.
Yeah.
Just see if I can give you any advice. This happens a lot in this business.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got fired. Yeah.
What's it like? How do you deal with that with people that you?
Cocaine.
He's not lying. But like it seems so hard. Like you're self-employed, so it's like going in and out, and like what's it? I suppose how do you do it?
I think it's a choice you make. Like it's from the outside looking in, working in media. I won't even call it show business because that's nonsense.
No.
But working in media, from the outside looking in, it's great. Working in it, when it's good, it's great.
Yeah.
And when it's good, it's unbelievably good. You get to go to great places, you get to meet great people, you get to do great things. But then all of a sudden it can stop, and then you're just back at home with your cat licking your nipples going, what happened? But it can come again, you know, and the cat's put it back into the shed. So it's a weird business, but so when it's good, it's great. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's not for everybody, because it's not what it's cracked up to be, and there's a perception that it's far better than it is, but there is good bits to it.
Yeah, because people like Patrick Thomas got a car.
Yeah, I think they took that off for though.
Did they?
Yeah, I can't tell you that story though.
Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Cheers.
What are you? Let's
Good shit.
What's the material? That's tight. Feel his face.
Don't feel his face.
Look at his face. So that is man. So
Alison, do you want to sing a song?
yes, let's sing a
What
song.
song would you like to sing?
I think we'll sing the Monster Mash.
Why?
Because tomorrow is Halloween.
Well, I think we should sing it then.